Hello and welcome to your new class, class 128. All right, yesterday we were talking pasado continuo. Esto es pasado continuo. En español hay dos formas más o menos para el pasado continuo. Cuando yo iba a la playa, me encontré con mi amigo Juan. All right. When I was going to the beach, me encontré con Juan. O cuando estaba yendo. Claro, en español no se suele decir estaba yendo. Se puede, pero no es común. Cuando estaba estudiando en la facultad, cuando estudiaba, so in Spanish, there are two types of past continuous. Cuando yo estudiaba en la facultad, yo conocí a Juanita o a Paula cuando estudiaba en la facultad. I met Paula when I was studying. Y también se puede decir, conocí a Paula cuando estaba estudiando. Cuando estudiaba o estaba estudiando. En inglés no existe el pretérito imperfecto estudiaba. Existe el indefinido estudié y el continuo estaba estudiando, con el verbo to be, estar, en este caso. I was. When I was 18 years old, I was attending the university. When I was 20, well, it depends. In January when I was 20 years old, I was living in Dallas, Texas. When I was 21, I was living in Madrid. When I was 22, I was living in Austin, Texas. And when I was 23, I was living in Madrid. When I was 19, I was living in Tulsa, Oklahoma. When I was 9 years old, I was living in Tulsa, Oklahoma. When I was 8, I was living in Houston, Texas. Yes. Now, Paula Eisenbach, 5 years ago, she was living in Munich with her parents. But now she's living in Heidelberg. And she's living with two friends. She's living in an apartment in the center of Heidelberg. Now, last year, she was living in a student residence on the campus in Heidelberg, University of Heidelberg. Last year, she was living on campus. This year, she's living off campus. Last year, she was living on campus, and this year, she's not. She's living in an apartment with two friends in the center of Heidelberg. All right. Now, you remember, yesterday, she was planning to leave on a short vacation, a nice vacation, about 3 weeks, I think. Yes, she was planning to go with Tom Sanders. Tom Sanders is an American student who lives in Heidelberg, and he's studying graphic arts at the University of Heidelberg. He likes Paula very much. Paula is not sure about him because he's a little strange, Tom Sanders. In the future, we will understand the problem with Tom Sanders, but for the moment, she's not sure. She's not sure. You remember that he wants to invite her to California to meet his parents. And she doesn't have a relationship with Tom Sanders. She helps him. She helps him with his Walt Disney drawings. You remember? Do you remember? Okay, well, yesterday, she was planning to go on a vacation, on holiday with Tom. They were planning to drive first to Paris. So they were planning to cross the Rhine River, they were planning to cross the border into France and to go to Paris. And they were going, iban a estar 3 días. Todo se canceló. Entonces, para describir lo que estaba planeado en el pasado continuo, they were going to spend 3 days in Paris, and then they were going to drive south to Monte Carlo, Monaco. and they were going to stay in Monaco for 2 nights. After that, and then they were going to visit Italy. And they were going to drive straight east along the coast, very, very close, and they were going to cross the border into Italy. They were iban a cruzar la frontera a Italia. Fíjate cómo lo digo. They were going to cross the border into. Into means entrar en. O sea, iban a entrar en Italia mediante el cruce de la frontera. Okay. They were going to cross the border into Italy. And they were going to drive to Pisa. They weren't going to stop in Genoa. They weren't going to stop in San Remo. They weren't going to stop in Santa Margherita. They weren't going to stop in Portofino. And they weren't going to stop in La Spezia. On the way. Along the way. On the way, along the way. No. They were going to drive directly to Pisa without stopping anywhere except for gasoline or petrol. But they were going to go to Pisa. And they were planning to spend only 1 night in Pisa to see the Leaning Tower. I'm leaning on the table, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yes. The Leaning Pencil of Aprende Inglés TV. That's a leaning pencil. All right. Leaning, lean. Lean is inclinarse de un lado a otro o también apoyarse. I'm leaning on the table. I'm leaning back in the chair. I'm leaning forward. I'm leaning to my right. I'm leaning to my left. And now I'm not leaning. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. They were going to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And then the next day, the following day, the next day, they were planning to go to Florence. And they were planning to spend 2 nights in Florence. They were planning to see the sculpture of David, by Michelangelo. But it was canceled. The trip was canceled. But they were going to do that. And then, after Florence, they were going to drive to Venice. And they were going to stay in Venice for 2 nights as well. And they weren't going to stop along the way. They were going to drive directly. They weren't going to stop in Verona to visit Luigi and Anna Barghini, because Paula doesn't know them. She doesn't know Anna, and Anna doesn't know Paula. They don't know each other. They know me, and I know them, but they don't know each other. She doesn't know her, and she doesn't know her. They don't know each other. They know me, and I know them, but they don't know each other. So Paula, what her original plan, el plan original, she wasn't going to stop in Verona. She was going to drive with Tom. She was going to drive to Venice, and then from Venice, they, Tom and Paula, were going to drive straight north through the Dolomitas, into Austria, por Tirol, in the zona Tirolesa. They were going to drive through Austria, and they were planning to stop in Innsbruck, Austria, on the way to Germany. They were planning to stay in Innsbruck for 1 day only. And then they were after that, and then they were going to continue north to Heidelberg. And they weren't going to stop in Munich, because Munich is on the way. If you drive from Innsbruck to Heidelberg, you pass through or near Munich. Paula's parents live in Munich. But Paula's mother doesn't like Tom Sanders. Now, Paula's mother doesn't know Tom Sanders. But from what she hears about Tom from her daughter Paula, She thinks Tom perhaps is a bit imbalanced, desequilibrado. A bit, maybe. The mother is very possessive with Paula. And so the plan was not to stop. They were not going to stop. They weren't going to stop in Munich. They were going to continue to Heidelberg, but everything was canceled. Everything was canceled. Sorry, Paula. Maybe next time. But not with Tom. I recommend that you go alone or with a future boyfriend. Yes, she doesn't have a boyfriend. Tom Sanders isn't her boyfriend. Yet. And maybe never. I don't know. So, el pasado continuo. Excuse me? ¿Me decías algo? Were you going to say something? What were you going to say? Come on. Tell me. What were you going to say? You were going to say something. I saw you were going to say something. Yeah. You were going to ask me a question, I'm sure. What were you going to ask me? What were you going? Escucha la pronunciación. Claro, es una pronunciación oscura para un hispanohablante. ¿Qué ibas a preguntar? Me ibas a preguntar algo. You were. You were. En británico dirían you were. You were going to ask something. You were going to ask something. What were you going to ask? What were you? What were you? What were you going to ask me? ¿Qué ibas a preguntarme? Come on, don't be afraid. Ask me. What were you going to say? Me ibas a decir algo, eh? Me ibas a criticar. Were you going to criticize me? Were you going to ask a question about my shirt? Were you going to ask me to roll up my sleeves? Today I haven't rolled up my sleeves. Were you going to ask me to roll? Were you going to say something about the makeup? Were you going to say something about the background, the buildings? Were you going to say something about Paula? Were you going to say something about Anna and Natasha, Scorpio and Pisces? Were you going to say something about the zodiac, about the horoscope, her horoscope, my horoscope? What were you? 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 What were you going to say? Esto es. What were you going to say? Yesterday, Natasha was going to go to the state laboratory, the state laboratory. Yeah, she was going, but she was sick. She was planning to speak to Gregory, her boss, about an increase in her salary. That she was going to talk to, but she didn't go. She was going to go, but she didn't. And she was going to talk about her salary. Yes. Yesterday, I was going to come here, but there was a problem with the lights. Yes, yesterday there was a problem with the lights. I was planning to come here. I was planning to teach this, Unit 16, yesterday. I was planning to finish the vocabulary booklet. I was planning to finish this book yesterday. So I'm doing it today. But I was going to do it yesterday. But there was a problem with the lights. There was. Hay 20 lápices aquí. There are 20 pencils in the cup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now there are only 14 pencils in the cup. There were 20 before. There were 20 before. But now there are only 14. The other pencils are behind the guitar. Yes, before they were in the cup, but now they're not. Now they're behind the guitar. Now there are 14 pencils in the cup, and there are 6 pencils behind the guitar. But a few minutes ago, there were 20 pencils in the cup, and there weren't any pencils behind the guitar. Now, there's a pink pencil next to the microphone, and there's a yellow pencil in my pocket. So, a few seconds ago, there were 6 pencils behind. Well, previously, there were 20 pencils in the cup. And then there were 14 pencils in the cup and 6 pencils behind the guitar. But now it's different. Now there aren't 6 pencils behind the guitar. There were 6 pencils, but not anymore. Now there's one next to the microphone, and there's another one in my pocket. All right. So here we have a pink pencil. Here we have a yellow pencil. Here we have a black pencil. And we have an orange pencil. Okay. Now, well, we have 2 orange pencils. And we have 2 black pencils. Okay. 2 black pencils. 2 orange pencils. One pink pencil and 1 yellow one. All right, good. Now, the orange pencils are next to the cup. The pink pencil is next to the microphone. The black pencils are on the edge of the table. And the yellow pencil is in my shirt pocket. All right. Where's the pink pencil? It's next to the microphone. Where are the orange pencils? They're next to the cup. Where are the black ones? They're on the edge of the table. And where's the yellow one? I don't remember the color. Where's the yellow one? It's in your shirt pocket. Very good. Yeah. And how many pencils are there under the book? There aren't any pencils under the book. And 2 minutes ago? 2 minutes ago, how many pencils were there under the book? There weren't any pencils under the book. And 10 minutes ago, how many pencils were there in the cup? There were 20 pencils in the cup. And then? Well, then there were 14 pencils in the cup and 6 behind the guitar. And how many pencils are there behind the guitar now? I don't know, Richard. Well, ask me. How many pencils are there behind the guitar? There are 4. There are 4 pencils behind the guitar. There are 14 pencils. Algo no cuadra. So there are fewer pencils now. There are fewer pencils in the cup than before. There aren't as many pencils in the cup as there were before. Originally, there were 20 pencils in the cup. Now there are fewer pencils than before. There aren't as many pencils. Yes. Yeah. There aren't as many pencils in the cup. I don't know how many pencils there are in the cup. Now, where's the yellow pencil? It's in your left hand. Yeah, but where was it before? Do you remember? Yeah, it was in your pocket. And where were the orange pencils before? Where were they? Were they next to the orange pencils? Were they next to the microphone? Were they on the edge of the table? Were they under my book? Or were they next to the cup? Do you remember? Where were the orange pencils? Where were the orange pencils before? If I remember right, si no recuerdo mal, if I remember right, se dice en inglés si yo recuerdo bien. If I remember right, the orange pencils were next to the cup. Were they? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. They were on the edge of the table. No, they weren't. The black pencils were on the edge of the table. Don't you remember? Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, the black pencils were next to the cup. Excuse me, next on the edge of the table. The black pencils. And where are they now? What? Where are the black pencils now? They're under the book. Where were they before? Before they were on the edge of the table. And where are the orange pencils now? They're on the edge of the table too. They're on the edge of the table too. Where were they? Where were they before? They were next to the cup. Where's the pink pencil? Now. Well, now sobre. Where is the pink pencil? It's right here in the cup. No, where's the other pink pencil? Ah, it's over here. Yeah, it's over here. Can you see it? Look. It's over here. It's next to the, it's on the edge of the table, like the orange pencils, except it's on my left. The orange pencils are on my right, next to the table, and the pink pencil is on my left. The pink pencil was next to the, if I remember right, the pink pencil was next to the microphone before. Okay. And where's the yellow pencil? Right here. No, where's the other one? This one. It's in my right hand. Was it in your right hand 1 minute ago? No, it was in my left hand 1 minute ago. And where was it 5 minutes ago? What, this pencil? The yellow one, this one, the one in my left hand. Yes, where was it 5 minutes ago? It was in my pocket. I remember, it was in my shirt pocket, right here. Right here in my shirt pocket. That's where it was. All right, so recapitulating, let's see, well, where were the black pencils? Where were? The black pencils were on the edge of the table. Where was the pink one? The pink one was over there, next to the microphone. Where were the orange pencils? The orange pencils were over there, next to the cup. And the yellow pencil was in my pocket, right now, like now, eh? Now it's in my pocket again. A few seconds ago, it was in my left hand. And 5 minutes ago, it was in my pocket. And now it's back in my pocket. But now I'm going to put the pencils back. We have 4 pencils here. We have 2 pencils under the, 4 pencils on the book, 2 pencils under the book, etc., etc. Now, first I'm going to put the yellow one back. All right? I'm going to put it back. Yeah, but where are you going to put it? I'm going to put it back where it belongs. Where it belongs? Sí, donde pertenece. Where does it belong? It belongs in the cup. We'll put it back. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it back. All right, fine. Fine. Excuse me, Richard, but you were going to put it in the cup, not behind the guitar. Yeah? Yeah, you were going to put the yellow pencil in the cup. Oh, okay, there, like that. Now I'm going to put the orange pencils behind the guitar. I'm going to put the orange pencils behind the guitar. Excuse me, Richard. Yes? You were going to put them behind the guitar, not in the cup. Yeah? Was I going to put them behind the guitar? I don't remember. Yes, you were going to put them behind the guitar, not in the cup. Oh, like this. Right. And these pencils, I'm going to put them in the cup, okay? Excuse me, Richard, but you were going to put them in the cup, not in your pocket. Oh, really? Yeah. I was going to put them in the cup. Right. Okay. And how many pencils are there on the table? Well, there's the pink one, and there are 2 black pencils under the book. And Richard, what are you going to do with these pencils? With these? I'm going to put them behind the guitar. All right? Excuse me, Richard. You were going to put them behind the, you were going, ibas a ponerlos, colocarlos. You were going to put them behind the guitar, not in the cup. All right, but the class, the time, I have very little time. I don't have much time. I have very little time. I don't have much time. So, I'm going to put the rest of the pencils back in the cup, okay? I'm going to put the rest of the pencils, I only have 3. I'm going to put them back in the cup, okay? Very good. Richard, you were going to put them back in the cup. Do you remember? Yeah? No, I don't remember. Where was I going to put them? You were going to put them in the cup. Oh, yeah, they're not in the cup. Fine. You were going to put them in the cup. You were going to put them where they belong. Where do they belong? Don't they belong in my pocket? No, they don't belong in your pocket. No pertenecen. Don't they belong on the table? No, they don't. Where do they belong? They belong in the cup. And you were going to put them in the cup. I was. Yes, I was going. All right, so I'm going to rectify, que es de sabios, dicen. I'm going to put the pencils back in the cup. Presente continuo, pasado continuo. Estoy sentado, I'm sitting, y ayer en este momento, yesterday I was sitting in this chair teaching you. And now I'm sitting in this chair teaching you. Okay, we're progressing. Take care.